we go. So the Hot Pocket's doing all right now? No? Yes?
I'm more like lukewarm pockets. Sorry, I had to take a drink.
I'm so sad for you.
I'm more sad for you because you didn't get an answer to your question right away.
I know. It's the way it goes.
Do you want to kick this off before we even really get into it so that way we can get into it?
Yeah. I mean, do you want to have a really good snort before, just to get it out of the way?
Okay.
All right. You ready? Welcome again to another episode of Drake and the Maestro, almost relevant and almost surviving.
For survival.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess after reviewing the previous episode, we realized, even though I never intended to, we probably should have given in some survival tips.
Yeah, we intended to give, one of us intended to give survival tips and then got sidetracked, and the other one was just along for the ride the entire time.
Yeah, it was the episode of Cop Stories and the bomb squad from the bomb cyclone, and
Yes.
So sorry for that. But
we'll start with the winter driving tips that we never gave and survival tips. Like carry food.
First,
non-perishable
let's get the traffic report from Jackie Stewart.
Inbound Kennedy, slow to the junction. Again, Belmont to Diversey. Outbound, all jammed up from Fullerton to Diversey due to a spectacular crash. The driver's been taken from the car and emergency crews are on the scene.
Jackie, what did you think of the crash? You saw it, you watched it happen. What did you think?
It was a spectacular crash. The car made 2 spins and then smashed the wall, spreading fuel all over the roadway. Like I said, the driver has been taken from the car. We don't know his condition.
A spectacular driving.
Absolutely spectacular. And that's the key. So when we talk about driving and survival tips for driving, make sure it's spectacular, because that counts.
Make sure you do it. If you're going to crash, do it spectacularly.
Correct.
That's right.
Correct.
If you're going to crash, you want the cops to show up on the scene to ask, how did you even do that?
Or at
I'm
least
not mad, I'm impressed.
Or at least I had never seen that before.
Right, yeah, you want at least that.
Yeah, at least.
That's a new one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, if you're going to crash into a telephone pole, make sure you end up on top of the telephone pole. Balanced on top. Very top.
Not just you, the car on top.
The car.
You need the car on top.
The car.
Which we had a neighbor that kind of accomplished that.
We're going to get sidetracked again.
She crashed and the car ended up in the trees.
That's impressive. See?
Yeah.
I'm not mad. I'm impressed.
That was spectacular.
Yes. So, winter safety, if you're going to go out in a winter storm, first off, don't. But secondly, if you absolutely 110% have to, because you're going to go help a loved one or, I don't know, rescue puppies. I don't know what would be a good enough reason to go out in the winter storm, but if you have to, some things you need to bring with you are blankets.
Gear up. First thing, before you even leave the driveway, before you even get in the car, look at the tires. Do you have tread? Got tread? Because if you don't...
Yeah. I'm glad we both went with the milk ad. That's,
Yeah. Serendipity, baby. Yeah.
That's great. I would say great minds think alike, but no one's accused us of having great minds. So,
which makes me wonder why anybody would be listening to us for safety advice. Let's just put that out there.
Based on our listener count, they're not. But that's not the point.
Well, they're just not listening.
That's what I meant.
I guess we're safe. But yeah, I mean, take our advice as guys who've been out, maybe driving around in some of this stuff.
Well, having to travel when we're not really supposed to, or not really wanting to because of X, Y, and Z, stopping to help people when we can because of the bad weather.
Or because some of us just hear the call of the wild when the snow starts blowing and have to go drive in it.
Weirdly, it sounds a lot like a
reason.
Peacock.
Well,
the call of the wild. It sounds a lot like a peacock.
Or a good beer. You could make that claim.
Bear Whiz beer.
That's why it's yellow.
It's in the water. That's why it's yellow. Yeah, exactly. But
what we're saying is don't take our tips for anything more than maybe tongue in cheek.
Well, a little bit tongue in cheek, a little bit seriousness. There is some serious advice here. Carry a blanket, make sure you're wearing the appropriate clothing.
Right.
Put on
which
pants,
is also important.
Wear shoes.
Not just going out in the snowstorm. When you go on a plane, same deal. Dress appropriately. I'm going to Florida, so I'm getting on the plane in Chicago and I'm going to wear shorts and Crocs. No.
Right, and then you're going to be stuck on the runway for 6 hours. Yeah, yeah.
Well, no, what's worse is if the plane goes down, if there's an emergency landing and you've got to bail, you need to be dressed appropriately. Cotton, like blue jeans, shoes, lace-up shoes or boots, something that you would be willing to have your keister in when you slide down that emergency ramp that doesn't look like it's going to be very
fun,
frictionless, shall we say. It's going to have friction, so your shorts are going to go in places where you don't want them to go, and then your skin's going to make that noise as it screeches down. No, dress appropriately on the plane. That's an important, serious safety tip.
Yeah, it's more of a pain in the butt for everybody at TSA, but wear those 8-inch lace-up boots. It'd be fine.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe just don't tie them all the way.
Whatever
up,
it is, just wear whatever you would want to be wearing if there's an emergency evacuation.
Wear what you want to wear if you're going to be stuck in the jungle for the next 6 weeks,
or wherever you're flying over. In the bomb cyclone with Now,
if you're flying over the ocean, you're done either way, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I would say that would be a dry suit, some swimming fins.
I think if you show up to the airport in a dry suit, there's going to be some more questions than you're probably not getting on a plane at that point.
Stomping around the TSA. Where's the beans?
Where are they? Got to be here somewhere.
Sir, you need to stay in the line.
I'm in line. Just looking. You
Where's the beans?
It's got. And then the carry-on.
I need you to come with us. You've been randomly selected for extra screening.
You got a 6-pack of Vaseline, and a spatula, and your carry-on.
And your carry-on in your backpack. And that's it. Nothing else. Just a 6-pack of Vaseline and a spatula. Nothing else. But anyway, we'll go back to actual survival tips here. If you're winter driving, blanket, some non-perishable food, some water.
I would say blanket.
Flares. Well, it depends on the amount of people. If you only got one person, a blanket, a big one. The queen size blanket's probably fine. And don't get also don't get like a throw blanket either. Well, this one will be cute. You don't want cute, you want warm.
Yeah. And I would recommend always having in the car one of those Army surplus wool blankets.
Oh yeah, the woolly.
They got all kinds of uses beyond blanket.
Yeah, you can make them a tent. You can make them into a poncho. They're semi-waterproof.
Yeah, with wool is like even when it's soaking wet, it still has some warmth.
It's still thermally. Yeah. Also, one of those space blankets. They're really cheap. You can get them on Amazon.
Oh, they're like Mylar ones. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like $5 for like a pack of 20. They're insanely cheap, and they work. You can use them as blanket liners. You can use them as tent liners for like waterproofing and or heat reflection. You can lay them out because they're shiny and they'll catch sunlight if you're out in like a field for survival.
Yeah, you can signal for help. I mean, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, as a signal, because there would be this big shiny thing in the middle of the woods, and they'll go, "Hey, maybe we should look there."
Right.
Yep. So I carry a couple of those in all my cars. I have at least a couple. Because they work. I mean, that's what the cops hand you for emergency blankets. Is like when, you've gone through a tragedy. You have this big Mylar balloon.
Why, thank you.
It's crinkly for your satisfaction. And if you can take those when you go hiking too. Like if you're going to go hiking in the woods and you think you might get lost, which statistically you probably will. Bring one of those with you. That way you can find a way out, and they're light. Yeah. I don't know what it is about hikers, but they are obsessed with weight. Everything's got to be as light as possible. Look, I get it. You don't want to carry 100 pounds with you through the forest, but there are some things you need as necessities.
You got to make room for the hot pockets, all right?
Yeah, you got to have the hot pockets, but really, what you need is a small axe, a knife, one of those Mylar blanket things, lighter.
Not a knife.
That's not a knife. Well, don't get me started on the guys who are like, well, you don't need an axe. You just carry a bigger fixed blade. You can baton with it. Right up until the thing that you're using to also process your food snaps off at the handle because you're trying to baton it through pine.
I would also carry a couple of bags of either Cheetos or Doritos.
Sure. Yeah, that way you can feed yourself and the bears.
Wait, they're flammable.
They are flammable. Yeah.
Fire starter.
Or cotton balls.
Well, and better yet, char cloth. If you learn how to make, take the cotton balls and char it, so they'll light quicker, and they're very lightweight and don't take up a lot of space.
Well, the benefit about the Doritos and the Cheetos is that they're also edible.
Correct.
So, like, if you need a little bit of some calories, you've got it. You can always feather some sticks or something to make fire starting material.
I'm just watching the heads explode in the audience of those experienced outdoors people.
Hey, they are flammable.
They are.
And they light pretty easily.
Yes, they do. Yeah, a couple
that's
of them
why
disposable lighters.
I know guys be like, okay, bring a ferro rod, bring a ferro rod. Sure, bring a ferro rod too. Bring a lighter.
Yeah. I mean, if you're packing stuff, it's much easier just to go flick, and there's your.
I knew a smoker that had a Bic lighter for like 10 years, and they were a pack a day smoker.
Mm-hmm.
They had the same Bic lighter for 10 years. I'm pretty sure one Bic lighter is enough to get you out, sustain you for your entire survival situation, whatever you've dreamed up in your head.
How about for the car, emergency tools like seatbelt hammer within reach?
You want one of those combo seatbelt hammer, windshield smasher.
Yeah, windshield smasher, seatbelt cutter, wrist breaker. Good for smashing up acorns, whatever you want to do that for.
Sometimes you just got to get hankering for acorns.
And maybe some water or some kind of fluid to hydrate?
Definitely water. Yeah, you want water.
Or
not Gatorade, not sports drinks, water.
Right.
Just water.
Right,
and don't ration your water either. Drink when you're thirsty, and that's... There are so many stories of people who are lost in the woods and they have a full canteen of water
because they're saving it up. But the problem is once
they're saving. Oh, I might need it later. Just drink it now.
Yeah, because once the dehydration process starts, you can't.
It's really you're going to need way more water than you can get to undo it.
Right. And don't eat snow because you induce hypothermia.
Right. You can melt snow if you can get a fire started. You can melt snow to make water, but don't eat the snow to make water unless you are desperate.
Right.
You have no other choice.
And I don't think we need to cover the yellow snow. I mean, I think that's...
Yeah, don't eat the yellow snow. Also, if you are in a blizzard or something like that and you get stuck, stay with your car.
Yeah.
Keep the tailpipe keep the tailpipe clear, but keep the car running, but keep the tailpipe clear so you don't give yourself carbon monoxide poisoning.
Absolutely right. The other end of that is to make sure that you never let your car, get below half tank.
Right. Or really, it's part of keeping the fuel pump clear, or not clear, cool. And
cool.
I know several people that drive around perpetually on E and have burned out their fuel pumps.
Right. What's the difference if it's on half and you just refill a little, even if it's not all the way, or if it's on empty, you just use that half and then you drive around and put the same amount in. It's like you get a one-time benefit, maybe, but then it costs you more in the long run, so there's no benefit. It's kind of like
if you're going to put $5 in it, just put $5 in it at half a tank.
Right.
Which I never understood those people either that go to the gas. Let me get $5 on pump number 3. Oh, so you're going to get a gallon of gas. Cool.
Hey, with prices these days, that's 2 gallons, my friend.
It depends on the state you're in, but yeah, sure.
Well, it's like those checking accounts, right? With the ad with the really annoying woman with the clear braces, and she says, "I got paid early."
Yeah, we've covered that.
Right. Okay, you got paid early once. Now you're just getting paid on your regular interval. So blow it out.
They just perpetually pay you earlier and earlier, and then at some point you're getting paid before you even work.
Yeah, but then they have to loan.
It's like some kind of space-time continuum violating.
Yeah, and then there's a rift in the time, and then the universe. Yeah,
well, we can't have that.
No, we can't. Nope. Mm-mm. How about a flamethrower?
No, but seriously,
Spaceballs, the flamethrower. That kids love this one.
I always like to have a flamethrower in the toolkit.
Sure. But really, if you get stuck in a blizzard, that's why you're supposed to have the food and the water and the snacks and all that in the car somewhere. So usually within reach, so you can just stay in the car, stay warm. Your car will idle for a long time, just at idle.
Oh yeah, your average like V6 is gonna consume 0.3 of a gallon an hour.
Yeah,
maybe
and you've got
0.4, maybe. but 3/10
Yeah, and
usually.
then once you get down to quarter of a tank, then you start cycling the car on and off for, you run it for a few hours, get it all warmed up, and then you let it cool down to the point where you absolutely cannot stand it anymore, and then you start it and let it warm back up.
And that comes down to having the big furry boots and the proper clothing. Like, if you're getting your car, I'm just going across town and I'm just going to wear my shorts and whatever clogs, and then you're not going to want to get out into the snow and clear the exhaust, and you got to do that, or it's monoxide city.
Yeah, or you'll take the forever nap.
Yes. Yeah, that was unfortunate. Was that a couple of years ago when that woman who got stuck in a snowstorm and then suffocated or whatever, sitting in her car? Yeah.
Yeah, sitting in her car because she never got out to clear the tailpipe. You have to keep that tailpipe clear. It will not get warm. I mean, it will get warm enough to do some of it itself, but you've got to make sure it's got a path out to the air so that it can vent.
Well, yeah, right. What you're saying is absolutely right. You got to clear it, not just clear it away so you can look down and see it, but you have to clear the drift away from the car so that it can flow away from the car and then rise and get the wind will pick it and take it away. So
yeah, it's going to be a little bit of warm. It'll keep you warm, though. It'll be fine.
And that's why you need
you're not going to be in that car for more than a day, most likely.
And that's why you need your trench shovel.
Stay with the car. There's also so many examples of people getting stuck out on the highway, out in like Montana and Wyoming, and even places in Illinois, where they get stuck and they get out of the car and I'm just going to walk to the next whatever.
Yeah, right.
The next town, the next gas station. You're not prepared. You think you are because maybe you're in somewhat decent shape or, whatever. A lot of people overestimate their skills in a survival situation. They think they can walk farther than they can. They think they know their sense of direction better than they do. That kind of thing. It's really easy to get turned around, especially in winter on the plains because there are no landmarks to aim at.
Yeah.
You just have nothing in every direction, especially in winter because there's no color variation. It's all white.
And
so you're going to start walking.
As someone who's run an accidental marathon, I can tell you it's not hard to get disoriented.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. It's real easy to get disoriented even in the woods because there's no color variation. There's no specific landmarks to point out.
And you're just not familiar. And if you're not, most of us are not. Most of us are not accustomed to orienteering and don't have the tools with us. So you're not, it's crazy. And
even if you do, most of us don't know how to use them.
Truly. Yeah.
I mean, looking at a compass isn't hard. Like, okay, that way's north, but what does that mean? You have to know where you are in relation to other things, right? So, okay, where's the nearest town? Is it north, south, east, west? And then you've got to keep,
Well, if you've got the luxury of flowing water, the water running down, if you follow the water, you eventually get to find people if you go long enough. But the real issue is, I think, in my opinion, is the things you need for survival, right? Shelter, water, food, and then other things fall underneath that, right? When you leave your car, you're giving up all that. You're giving up your shelter and potentially your food and water stores because now you're only taking what you can carry. Hopefully you have more in the car because you're taking what the car can carry. And you're just giving up all those resources for a dubious unknown. So, which is also the same as if you're out hiking. I mean, once you realize you're lost, stop.
Just stop.
And most start people don't looking know that. And then concentrate on, can you orienteer? Can you figure out where you are? Stop until you get confirmation. Maybe look around, see if you can figure out directions. Do not
and also
continue
make sure you
start
someone where you're going and when you're going to be back.
Right.
Even if you overestimate and say, I'm only going on a 6-hour hike or an overnight hike, right? But you say I'll be back in 2 days. Just to give yourself, maybe you get lost, or maybe you find a really nice spot you want to spend an extra night. You give yourself as much time as you think you'll need, and then give a little more, and tell your friends, tell everyone, your friends, your parents, your coworkers, everyone, that I will be back in so many days or so many hours or whatever, and here's where I'm going, and here's the trail I'm going on. Because if you don't come back, then you have people that will call you in missing. Time is of the essence.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to go if you're going to go hiking in the mountains, in the Smoky Mountains, or the Rockies, or the Sierra Nevadas, there are predators. There are bears and mountain lions and wolves and all kinds of stuff that are not afraid of people and will hunt you.
And panthers even.
Tags that stage right.
Hey, thanks, Snagglepuss. Technically, Snagglepuss was a tiger.
Was he?
Yeah,
how
he
could
was
he be
a
a tiger? He didn't have the stripes.
Well, how could he? What are you saying? How could he be a tiger? He was pink. What's it? What do you mean?
So he's the Pink Panther's older, little more New Yorky brother.
Yeah, but he was built more like a tiger because he had like more tiger-like features.
Now we're gonna have to look up Snagglepuss.
Because the Pink Panther was clearly a panther.
Clearly,
he was a mountain lion panther, very lithe, long skinny tail.
Yeah, he's pink. He's wearing a Chippendales outfit.
Yeah, he's got he's just got the cuffs and a collar with a tie.
Right.
And a hat.
Okay, here we go. All right, Snagglepuss is a pink anthropomorphic mountain lion from Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
Well, then he's just a panther, because that's all a panther is. A panther's just a black mountain lion.
It's a panther even. Heavens to Murgatroyd. That's right.
And what's it? Well, it depends on where you are, too, because there's a panther can also be a black jaguar.
Right, like your Florida panther.
Panther. Yeah, right. Well, panther is just black cat is basically what it means. So you can have black jaguars, right? Because if you go look at some panthers
and they were
in South America.
They were really active in the 60s in urban settings.
The Black Panthers? Yes, thank you.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Do you want to go out of that joke? Or you want to do a reprise of the song?
We'll do a reprise of a song. That helped.
That helped, but not much.
No.
But yeah, no. If you go look at if you can get really close to like a South American panther, you'll see they have spots.
Just like black cats. If you look really close, a lot of them have tabby stripes. You
yeah, they have
stripes. Bright light.
They're just very similarly colored to the rest of their body, so it's really hard to tell.
Right.
But yeah, kitty. If not friend, why friend shape? That was the best response to the National Park Service put out a tweet. It's like, don't pet the mountain lions. And somebody responded with, if not friend, why friend shape?
Funny, but think about it.
Like, you know what? If you want to pet the mountain lions, go for it, pal.
It just shows that your house cat wants to eat you, because
it does.
That's all the panther is. Panthers, just like big house cat, they purr.
Mountain lions, panthers, tigers.
Yeah, right. So that just
tigers
proves
don't purr; they chuff. They go.
That just proves that your house cat wants to consume you. It just hasn't figured out how yet.
That's why they're so angry all the time. If you were nature's perfect killing machine, but you're the size of a football, I'd be a little pissed too.
Yeah. Where did I see it was someone comparing a dog's diary versus a cat's diary.
Oh yeah.
Like the dog's diary is, we
had a ball. My favorite thing. And then I had breakfast. My favorite thing. And then master petted me. My favorite thing. It's like you switch over the cat. Day 763 of my captivity. I heard tell of my allergies. I must find a way to utilize this against my captors.
Exactly.
It's like, what?
So when people say it's a mountain lion, it's just like a house cat. Yes, that's true, but it says more about the house cat than the mountain lion.
Right. I mean, I think what people are saying, what nature experts are saying when they say they're like house cats, is that they have a similar temperament. What did you say? They have a similar temperament, but also what that says to me is that means they can be domesticated, because we domesticated house cats in a sense, which means that we could do it to mountain lions.
But okay, have you ever woke up with your cat like lurking above you, ready to pounce, right?
Or just sitting on your chest?
Yeah, it's kind of cute when they're like 10 pounds, right?
Yeah,
when they're 150 pounds, it's a little different.
Hello.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. It's really creepy when you get up in the middle of the night and you look over and there's the cat's eyes like glowing in the moonlight. It's a little different when they're like hip level and looking at, whoa, okay. You just step out in the hallway to use the bathroom and there's the mountain lion looking at you like, how's it going?
Or you look over and the cat's like just sitting and picking his teeth with his claws. That's cute when it's 10 pounds, but yeah.
Rawr.
Yeah, that's probably a bit, Well, on that disappointment, it's time to end for today.
Again and again.
Well, yes, we do that every week. Every week we begin. There's a beginning.
And then we must end.
And then there's an end, kind of like the Brontosaurus.
Well, there's a real problem with the beginning. That leads to the rest of it.
Yeah, that is a problem. And I guess we really didn't bring the funny this week, did we?
But
But sometimes safety at least third, right? So
always at least third.
At least third.
At most third, honestly, in my line of work. Safety third.
Yeah, safety first, nothing gets done. It's just ridiculous, Yeah, safety
It's been a real thing. Safety third. Safety third's a good,
Yeah, Micro will tell you all about it. Yep.
Yeah, but biggest survival tips I have is don't survive. Right. Just don't go. Don't go out in the blizzard. Don't go hiking. They say hiking never killed anyone. There is a whole book about hiking killing people.
I think history begs to differ on that one.
Yeah, ask the Donner Party how some hiking went for them.
I don't know if that was hiking. It was an outing.
They did some hiking. They didn't have to look. They left Pennsylvania where they were rich and owned land and cattle, and they said, it would be fun if we went on a hike across the country and settled in this new place called California. And then they didn't. Because did. Well, I mean, technically they made it to California, but not very far into it.
They just left a little too late.
Well, let's fit it. We'll start that in the outro. I'll give you the quick rundown of how that turned out for them. But you got to finish ending the episode.
Coming from the driver who just loves going through Donner Pass, we'll give you those credentials. So yes, if you need to contact us, you can contact us at DrakeAndMaestro at Outlook.com. That's DrakeAndMaestro at Outlook.com. Of course, you can always leave comments in the different show episode medium, and write.
Comments, threats, ransom
arguments,
requests,
show ideas, topics, anything like that.
Yeah. Make us funnier. Do the work for us.
Correct. Yes, please. We don't have an ego about that. We know what we are.
Not really.
Art. This is really
that's funny.
Just us. It's just us going on about what we like to talk about anyway, and making it available to those interested parties who might want to eavesdrop a little bit. And then again,
or maybe you don't want to feel so alone in life. Come listen.
Right. Well, you can interact with us on X at Drake and Maestro. Actually, we've been interacting more with Maestro, but I'll jump in occasionally if necessary. That's Drake and Maestro, or at Drake and Maestro. And of course, YouTube is at Drake and Maestro. And tune in next time when the Maestro says.
And that's when the cannibalism started.
Thanks for listening, and adios.
Adios.
Adios, muchachos, caballeros, when you get out of here.
So the Donner Party, they're rich. They're people who went west. Like there's this kind of misunderstood ideology that the people who went west were poor and seeking a new life.
Every time I hear Donner Party, I just think of the waiter. Donner Party of 20?
Donner Party of 20? Donner Party of 20?
In fact, I like to go to a restaurant and just do that because I want to hear it.
It was a group. It wasn't just the Donners, right? There was a whole bunch of people that went in this group, and they were just collectively known as the Donner Party. Because the Donners made up a majority of it.
Well, the Donners, they were always one wanting their name in front of everything. And status,
well, so there's this misconception that if you went west in the late 1800s, that you were poor, seeking new life, right? You were seeking a new life out in California because you kind of weren't making it on the East Coast and needed a new place to be to get things, to get forward in life. But that's not true. A lot of people that went west were very wealthy and were just tired of living on the East Coast.
Yeah, who wouldn't be, right?
Yeah, I've been there. It's awful. The only reason New Jersey's known as the Garden State is because nuclear waste receptacle was too long to fit on a license plate.
I'm sure it was pretty once.
It might have been at some point. So Donner Party sets off, and they have this guidebook from, I forget the guy's name, but he's some famous explorer from that time.
Aesop.
And what?
Aesop. It was
his fables.
They thought it was a guidebook.
That's right. But no, they take off, and this guy found a cut across, because the way you used to go to California back in ye olden days was you would basically follow 84 out of Salt Lake City.
They had interstates back then?
No, but that's the route. That's our interstates now follow a lot of the wagon train routes from back in the day. That's because they were the easiest ways to travel, and they figured, well, if people are already going that way and it's fairly easy to do, we might as well just put the highways there.
Although the wealthiest people would get on a ship and go around the Horn and over to San Francisco.
Yeah, they'd go around the Cape of Good Hope and all that and go.
Yeah.
But it took longer. It actually took longer to go on ship than it did by land. It took months and months to go around. It was just less dangerous. That was the difference.
Except for the South America part. That's
well, but it was ask the Downer Party how that turned out for them with all the Native Americans and whatnot.
And through the Panama Canal.
Well, that wasn't until later. They take off.
Well, I understand that the Panama Canal thing got started because there was one East Coaster who decided, you know what, Panama's kind of thing. So they started the Panama Railway, and they would bring a ship into one side of Panama. Everybody would get out, transfer, and they'd ride the railway across, and then get on another ship and then go up to California.
Yes, that's how the Panama Canal. And then they realized, what if we just connected the two ends so that the ships could just go across?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
I think they started somewhere else, and then that didn't work, and then,
And they get all the way to Salt Lake City, which is like the last, I think it's Salt Lake City. It's somewhere over there. There's one, it's before Salt Lake City. It's like Kearney, Nebraska or something like that is where the last big outpost is before you start into the wild lands, if you will.
Right near Custer's Last Stand.
No, that's in Montana.
All the frozen custard you want.
And so they stopped there, and they had sent outriders out ahead to go scout this new cut across. Because like I said, you used to take 84 up into Oregon and then across. That's why it was called the Oregon Trail.
Yeah,
because you'd basically go to Salt Lake City, you'd turn and go northwest, head up into Oregon, and then across the mountains in Oregon because it was way easier. And then you'd cut back down basically I-5 down into California. I'm using those as reference points so that people kind of understand where I'm talking about, and it's easy to look up. I mean, I-80 runs less than 50 miles from the path the Donner Party took to get over those mountains.
Yeah, they got like a monument or something, don't they, over there?
Yeah, there is. There's a big thing right by the lake, Truckee Lake. That's the lake they got stuck at, was Truckee Lake. But yeah, so basically they sent outriders ahead from this fort. It was like, hey, you four go ride this pass, see how bad it is. And then
Doggy just got up, and she's standing right in front of me, and she's got the look that says, your time is up.
Your time is over.
Is over, sir.
And
anyhow.
So the outriders sent the letters back to this outpost in Kansas, said, hey, don't come this way. It's really dangerous. Like, you need an expert guide to get over this. And it's speculated that the owners of the outpost they were at kept any letters coming back that said that pass was dangerous, because if people found out that pass was more dangerous than going the normal way, they wouldn't have a reason to go to that outpost anymore.
No, people wouldn't do that. No,
they definitely would not hide information to make money. Never.
I can't imagine.
So the Donner Party leaves. They go through Salt Lake City. Bunch of cattle die. Bunch of people die. Bunch of cattle get stolen. Some people get stolen. And then they make it to California. They get stuck at the lake, and then the rest is history. And there's cannibalism. And then there's one guy who turns out to be a cannibal just because he can, not because he has to.
He's like your house cat. He's been waiting.
Yeah. Four expeditions were sent up into the mountains to get the full party, as much of the party as they could rescue.
Yeah, because I was thinking, weren't there some out and backs going on there?
There were several. There was a whole group of them that tried to leave and got turned around, and the Native American guides they had just left them on the mountain. The Native American guides were like, screw, because they had been talking about that's where the cannibalism came from. It was the group that tried to leave. That's where it first started. And they were like, well, we'll just eat the Native Americans first. And the Native Americans were like, like hell you will, and they left. Which what a rich white person way to think of things. Yeah, let's eat the people that are keeping us alive.
Yeah, well,
guiding us through the mountains.
The aristocracy has never been known for its common sense.
No. So that group is the first one, and to their credit, because they only did it as a last resort, and their rule was you had to die first before they ate you. They would not kill someone and then eat them. That was their whole, like, that's the line in the sand for them.
Kind of like those soccer teams that were crashed in the mountains.
Yeah,
right?
it became a point where it's like, it became a point where it's like we don't have a choice, and same rules. Only eat after they're dead. We don't try to kill people to eat them. But there was I forgot the guy's name.
We leave that for the Germans. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, there was one guy who was left there. He was left there with a few people, and by the time the fourth party came back to get him, the fourth rescue party came back to get him, everyone else was dead, and he had eaten them, even though there was a frozen ox carcass outside his hut, or his hovel. So he had other meat he could have eaten, and he was eating the people instead.
And on that disappointment, it really is time to go. Wow.
That guy was a real jerk the entire story, though. That guy was a real jerk the entire time.
Would have to be, right?
He was so bad because the people that came back and rescued him, that were going to come back and rescue everybody else, he was so bad that one of the guys that came back and rescued him to get them was there the third time, right? So he was on the third search party and came back for the fourth search party. And when he got there and saw that everyone else was dead, but he was still alive, that guy wanted to shoot him on the spot.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll get that back then.
He was like, we should just kill him now and just leave. And everybody else was like, whoa. He's like, no, you don't understand. This guy's a jerk. Bit of an overreaction there, Frank. Not an overreaction enough in my book.
You haven't been in a Conestoga with this character. Holy crap.
Yeah, he's you should, if we still have listeners at this point, go listen to the Lore Lodge's breakdown of the Donner Party, because that's where I got this information from. And because he's the most accurate, he does all his own research, tries to get multiple sources to corroborate stuff. And that guy was a dick the entire trip. He's directly responsible for several people dying.
Well, you are what you eat. Okay.
Yeah. That's a good one. I like that. That was quick.
Yeah, okay, really. That's it.
I'm waiting for the